On this hot and humid Monday morning, we're checking in with Hamilton Mayor Fred Eisenberger. Good morning.
Good morning.
So Hamilton is under a heat warning at the moment. Are there any cooling centers opening in the city today?
Yeah, they're all open, Annette. We certainly want people to get a place where they can cool down for those that don't have access to the air conditioning. So during this extreme heat moment, I think it's critical that they have an opportunity to do that. So some of our rec centers and some of our libraries are the cooling centers. They can be identified by cool down here signs at the location, or folks can go to hamilton.ca/heat or call the city's hotline or city's helpline at 905-546-2489 for locations in the city where they can get access to these cooling centers.
Right, because of course pre-pandemic people would go to malls or theaters or something like that, right? And of course we can't do that right now because of the pandemic.
Yeah, exactly right. And there'll still be precautions in place when they go to those cooling centers, but they're going to be available, and they're available in any event each and every year when we have these extreme heat events. And certainly we encourage people to get access to them.
Yeah, nice to see the splash pads and pools open up as well. Let's talk about Hamilton's numbers right now. It really looks, and I don't want to be too optimistic here, like we are turning a corner.
Well, it certainly looks that way. And you know what, the the case numbers at 33 yesterday, that's certainly a very hopeful sign. We were well into the hundreds previously, and so that's a good sign. We still have, concerns. I think it doesn't mean that people can totally relax. I think they'll still need to be cautious and physically distance and do the masking. I was just reading an article about Britain this morning, and they're heading back upwards, even though they've got 90% of their population vaccinated in 2 doses. So it is not a time to throw away all precautions, but it's certainly better. And we encourage people to get vaccinated when they're eligible. So right now, the 70 plus can get their second dose a little sooner, so they can book an appointment this morning for a little bit of an earlier second dose. And the more vaccinations we're able to deliver in our community, the better we're going to be in terms of opening things up. I remain hopeful that given these lower reduced numbers, that we can look to hopefully maybe sooner than June the 14th, opening up patios and some retail that I'm sure everyone's wanting to get access to, which I think we'd all like to enjoy. But, certainly a reasonable amount of precaution, I think, still needs to be in place for individuals that have both been vaccinated and those that have not.
Right. I was going to ask you about the patio situation, because does the city have to do anything to kind of expand the patios onto the sidewalks or onto the roadways? Any of that work have to be done before the provincial announcement?
No, not really. I think we did all of that work last year, and those that applied are able to reopen their patios again this year. So we actually extended it well into October of this year. And those that haven't yet applied, there might be a bit of a process, but I would hope that they would have anticipated that they would have applied a little sooner, and we certainly have expedited the process. So we've got I think a vast majority of the restaurants that have patios are ready to go as soon as the announcement is made by the province of Ontario.
I know we touched on this last week, but there have been renewed calls in the last few days about the removal, people calling for the removal of the Sir Johnny McDonald statue in Gore Park. Anything new on that?
No, I think consultation on that has been ongoing, and certainly we have our own Indigenous strategy leads that are Indigenous peoples as well that have been looking at these issues. We'll continue to consult with the broader Indigenous community, and continue to work through reflecting both the positive history as well as the negative history. And I'm from a personal opinion, it's not my decision at the end of the day. I think collectively we have to kind of wrap our heads around this. But my personal belief is that I don't think we want to eliminate our history, but we certainly want to put it into the proper context. So for Sir John A., who had a strong hand in developing the residential school system that affected so many people, obviously negatively for the vast majority of them, including my brother-in-law, who's Inuit, who does not have fond memories of the residential school system. That we put that into the statute, or we add additional context, or we provide a statute to respect and reflect on the residential school victims that have been so pained in the last few weeks as a result of the discovery in Kamloops. So we certainly feel their pain, and I think every citizen is just left wondering how that kind of thing could and should not have happened. And certainly those that are responsible for that their history ought to reflect that responsibility.
Okay, thank you, Mayor Fred Eisenberger. I just want to clarify as well for our viewers, we rolled some B-roll of the Johnny McDonald statue there with red paint on it. It does not, that was from an earlier bout of vandalism there. So just wanted to clarify that. Nice to talk to you again today.
You as well. Have a good week.
You too.
Thank you.